What's up, guys? This is Jake at TN Tac Pack coming to another video, and today we got a special video for you. Today we are talking about get home bags and just why exactly you need to think about getting one.
What's that? I hear someone has arrived in the home. What happened?
Well, my truck broke down. There was an Antifa rally just down the street. Fortunately, I had my get home bag. So that gave me a great idea for another video today. I thought we should make a video about get home bags. Not bug out bags, mind you, but get home bags, and why I really do think every single person should own one of these. This is something that I've had to use a couple times here and there, whether my car is broken down or I've actually sustained a couple of injuries, and lo and behold, thankfully we had a get home bag nearby to kind of help us out.
The first aid kit is very important.
Oh, God, look at my thumbnail. Oh my God. My idea of a get home bag is something that is made for mobility, so that if you're stuck at the side of the road, you can go ahead, grab this bag, and you've got everything you need to sustain you for probably the next 12 to 24 hours. This bag gets you home to the place where there are more serious supplies. Now, this is my get home bag. This is not necessarily going to be a get home bag that's best made for you. This is just based on my circumstances and factors that you need to think about when you're getting your own get home bag together. So everything we try to go over is not going to be super expensive. You can definitely make a get home bag on the budget for sure. Maybe just add a couple things that you have to buy like at Walmart or Harbor Freight or something. So this is just like a Walmart brand, like outdoor bag. It's got like a water bladder in there. You can usually get one of these for like 20, 25, maybe 30 bucks depending. It's really just lightweight. It's made for just hiking and stuff usually, but we're going to use that as our base for the get home bag. Number one, you really need to think about your environment. Think about the temperature specifically. Right now, we're in the middle of December. We're in East Tennessee, and it's not necessarily, hot weather. We typically have temperament weather.
Like summer. Let's not lie.
Today, it's been typically like summer. And usually, though, you might get temperatures in December as low as, say, like 32 degrees,
That's
20
true.
degrees.
The thing is, in this type of environment, you could have anything from the 20s up to, 70 in some cases.
You may live in a hot, dry climate. You may live in a climate that gets extremely cold in December, okay? So please, just take this for how I've got mine designed. To help with the environment and temperature, I always make sure to carry a couple of hot hands in there. The second thing you really need to think about, people. Think about your crime rate in your area. Think about the population density. Think about, are you going to need some kind of protection and just how much protection you'll need. In this case, we live in sort of like a rural kind of suburban area of Tennessee. Not really huge city area, if you will. For me, with my get home bag, I just have a Glock 19, which, we're going to do a separate video on here. Okay, see it's unloaded. And for the record,
I want to see I'm quality assurance.
People like to complain that I point the firearm at him. I really have not pointed the pistol at him.
It's all about angles.
It's all about the angle. You guys know this. I don't really need to go much detail about why you should carry a firearm. That's not what this video is about. Plus, I know you guys well enough to where you probably already carry a firearm with you everywhere you go anyways. But just to reiterate, make sure you got your firearm. That meets your environment. You may want to carry some extra mags. So for me, for example, in my get home bag, I got a couple extra mags here, just in case if you need some. You may even want to get a little bit extra ammo as well, just in case you're in the real thick of it.
You really have to think about your weight ratio too.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it to carry the weight?
Yeah, you really need to think about that because, again, mobility is key. So I'm not going to be putting like, 50 round drum mags for this thing or anything crazy like that.
Unless your crime rate and demographic is correct and you need a thing like that.
If you're literally living a block away from an Antifa rally, then yeah, you might actually need to get like a Kel-Tec foldable sub 2000 or something like that. Look at your population and see what you're dealing with. And that brings us to our third factor. The third major factor you really want to worry about is the weight. Because of that, we don't have like sleeping bags or supplies for a tent or anything like that. This is something that I've added to my kit. This is a first aid. They call it an emergency preparedness. I've got this at Tractor Supply. It's 24 pieces. If you look at our Black Aces Tactical Bullpup Shotgun video that we did, We actually had to use this when I hurt my thumb really bad. It's got a poncho, so if it's raining. It's got an emergency blanket, emergency whistle. You know, gunshots are pretty loud too. Even emergency drinking water in here, as well as a yeah. It's got a glow stick, a face mask. As far as first aid goes, it's more like just a basic first aid kit. It's not going to be really for like treating gunshot wounds or anything like that. Band-Aid, different sizes of that. You've got antiseptics, hand sanitizer, gloves. I mean, so it's very basic, but for me and my needs, it really is kind of, it's what fits right for me. Because going into factor number 4 is you really need to think about your safety and essentials. Safety and essentials.
We've talked about weight, and one thing I'd like to mention, especially with respect to first aid, one of the lightest things that you can carry with you at any given time is knowledge. It weighs very, very little. I could rip a seam out of my pants and use it as a suture in an emergency. Maybe this kit has a needle for that type of thing. Should you get a big cut or something like that, I know I was hiking on the AT, ripped my hand open. Some things I might like to add to this: super glue. A large wound you can actually close up with super glue, so if you don't find it in your kit, you may add that in. You may add a little bit of duct tape, and you can actually pull it off the roll. You can take a little bit and just start this little roll itself, and then just a little piece, say that big around, it's enough to cover, keep dirt, filth out. You can close up a large gash. There's all sorts of things that you can add to a stock first aid kit that really level it up and will help you out in a rough situation.
Very good point. And with that being said, we did have some duct tape in here.
Hey, Virginia Chrome!
So we do have a little bit of duct tape here that we have tucked away for all those serious emergencies you might have.
That's a lot more than I carry, but you never know how much you might need because it's great for all kinds of things.
I mean, you could even use this to kind of help tie things together if you needed to as well. It doesn't have to be for first aid. It could be for literally anything.
Even if your bag gets a rip in it and falls apart, great repair tool.
If nothing else. Going back into the essentials part, you really need to think about water. So you could be next to a creek. Let me go and open it here, I guess.
We didn't use these in a video.
Well, we did, but we didn't publish it.
Oh, we haven't published it?
No. We like to keep a live straw in here. It's always great in case you come across a body of wire. And in case you don't come across a body of wire, for me personally, I'm always carrying around usually one of these large Yetis full of ice wire. Not a sponsor. But like I said in the beginning of the video, there is a wire bladder in here that you can use. It came with the bag. I think it's quite useful to carry wire. Other essentials you might want to think about is toilet paper. Very important.
Very important.
In case you're not near wire, in case you're not like me, maybe I'm low on wire. In case I'm low on wire though, I always carry like a little ball of wire like this as well. You never know.
Great for first aid, cleaning out.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. You could just use this for wire to clean out your wounds and stuff for sure. On top of that, talking about more essentials, I have an extra glow stick in there, as well as Blackbeard Fire Starter. Not a sponsor.
But we love you guys. I love you.
In case you need to start a fire, let's say it's a little chillier than you're expecting. You could use some of this.
Or wetter.
Or wetter, yeah. Back here I have a lighter, so you can just cut a little bit of this off here with your lighter. And you can start a little fire with some of the brush and stuff. You could just burn this by itself, and it'll actually be a heat source as well as a source of light for you. Some other things you may want to think about is a pocket knife to kind of help you cut some of this stuff. You may also want to have a multi-tool, much like this. I'm sure you've seen these before. Ozark Trail is this particular brand, but of course there's other brands out there as well. You never know when you might need pliers or something to kind of help you in a bind. I do have a pocket knife in here. Now this is my knife that I have in this bag. In case my pocket knife is not with me, I still have this one. Obviously, you need a source of light. I have an extra flashlight in this bag as well. This is an O-Light. It's a Baton 3, and I mean, it works just fine for me and my purposes. This particular model does have a carrying case that also recharges the battery for you. It can actually hold up to 3 full charges for the battery. So we keep that in my get home bag as well. A few other things I want to note is I try to also carry some sort of food in my get home bag as well. These are just a little blend of nuts. I mean, they don't go bad. They've been in my bag for a year, and I just tasted them, and
Let's
they still
have some now.
nuts. You know, they're a great source of energy and protein, all that good stuff.
Oh lordy, yes.
Still good. I mean, you could use Cliff Bars. You'll notice there's not a lot of food in there because, again, this is a get-home bag, not a bug-out bag. So in conclusion, we wanted to bring this video to your attention because we really think it's super important that everyone considers making their own get-home bag that's tailored to their needs. This was one that we designed for myself. Brent has one at home that he does a few things differently on, and I'm sure wherever you're watching this from, your environment, your population density, all that stuff we talked about is probably totally different than our circumstances. The idea here is to make a get-home bag to get you home where you'll have more essential and more things at your disposal. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video today. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you have a get-home bag? I'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Oh.
Jiggle it now. Yay.
Yes. Put the thing on the wall.